Drones over steel, Ukraine's deep strike strategy. Since early 2024, Ukraine has shifted the tempo of its defense. What once was a reactive campaign of holding the front lines has transformed into a bold, proactive strategy, one targeting the very lifeblood of Russia's war machine, oil. It began with precision drone attacks on oil refineries near the border, but soon escalated. Ukrainian drones were suddenly hitting strategic targets over 1,000 kilometers into Russian territory. Fuel depots, processing plants, and refineries that once operated without fear far from the battlefield became targets in a new kind of warfare. One by one, key Russian refineries were hit. In the industrial heartlands of Ryazan, fires lit up the night sky as tanks filled with crude ignited. Days later, a strike at Kstovo caused thick columns of smoke to rise, disrupting operations and halting fuel distribution. And then came Volgograd, an essential hub supplying military-grade aviation fuel, where a massive explosion forced temporary shutdowns and evacuations. These weren't isolated incidents. They were coordinated, deliberate, and symbolic. Ukraine's message was clear. The war isn't only fought with tanks in the mud or soldiers in trenches. It's also fought with wings of carbon fiber and payloads of explosive resolve. The strategy wasn't about destruction for destruction's sake. It was calculated. Oil powers Russia's military. It fuels jets, tanks, supply trucks, and even the industrial base manufacturing weapons. Every refinery disabled is a blow to logistics. Every depot in flames, another delay in fueling war operations. Ukraine, with limited ground resources, found an equalizer in the sky. What makes this new campaign even more remarkable is its reach. These drones weren't launched by foreign powers or delivered in secrecy. They were homegrown. Built on Ukrainian soil, developed by Ukrainian engineers, many of these unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, had no logos, no markings, just a mission. Some traveled over 2,200 kilometers undetected, weaving through Russian air defense systems to hit high-value infrastructure. It wasn't just fuel depots. Some drones struck drone factories, power stations, and pipeline junctions. Each strike chipped away at Russia's confidence in the security of its own rear territories. Civilians in cities that once felt far from the war front began to realize no place is out of reach. And yet, amid the smoldering targets and disrupted operations, casualties remained rare. Ukraine's focus was tactical, not terroristic. The objective was not to harm civilians, but to deny the Russian military the resources it relies on. Russia's response was swift. Air defenses were reinforced, radar systems adjusted, and major refineries surrounded by additional protection. But the drones kept coming. Smaller, faster, sometimes launched in swarms. They didn't always hit, but they always sent a message. By mid-2025, Ukraine had launched dozens of such missions. Each time, analysts speculated about the broader implications. Would these strikes pressure Russia to negotiate? Would they deter further attacks on Ukrainian cities? Could this campaign mark the beginning of a new kind of modern warfare? One where small nations could reach the heart of larger powers through technology rather than sheer firepower? In the background, engineers worked tirelessly. Prototypes turned into production lines. Algorithms guiding the drones became more sophisticated. Ukraine wasn't just defending itself, it was innovating under fire. And the impact was real. Several Russian oil companies were forced to suspend operations for days, even weeks. Maintenance crews scrambled to restore pressure and repair pipelines. Export schedules shifted, fuel prices fluctuated. More importantly, supply lines to the front became unpredictable. Ukraine had found a way to reach beyond its borders without occupying land. These were battles fought not over territory, but over infrastructure, supply, and the psychological terrain of vulnerability. This strategy came with risk. Each strike could provoke retaliation, but Ukraine's leadership remained resolute. As long as Russian missiles flew into their cities, Ukrainian drones would fly into Russia's fuel tanks. As winter approached once again, the skies were no longer quiet. The hum of drones echoed not just as an act of resistance, but as a symbol of a nation's ingenuity under pressure. In the age of high-tech warfare, Ukraine proved that even a nation under siege could carry the fight far beyond its borders, one drone at a time.